In this video, you're going to see Zara ridden for the first time ever. This whole length of this process of this taking place was about an hour. I'm going to cut it down some just for managing time, but you'll get to see all the steps and everything that we did. Some of it went really good, and some of it there's still things that we need to work on, which is expected. She is taken a little bit longer to get on for the first ride than typical. Normally, we're on a horse within a week. There was some things that we needed to work on with her on the ground to get her steering where we really needed it to be for the first ride. So I'll talk about what's going on as it happens, and you're going to see a very exciting first ride for Zara. Right there, you see Raven went to pick up the bridle, and Zara turned and walked away. It's not a big deal. Zara wasn't really connected with her, and something we'll just have to work on. Not a big deal. There she's working on bridling Zara. You'll see Zara take a couple of steps back. Not really a big deal. And as we just bridle her more, it's going to continue to get better. Once she quit taking the steps back, she actually took the bridle really nice. And Zara is bridled almost every day and let stand in the stall and hold the bridle for a little while every day. So to get used to carrying the bridle. And this video, we recorded this video several days ago, maybe a week ago. I don't remember exactly. Since doing this video, we've had several more rides on Zara, even trotted her and working on steering from the saddle and that kind of thing. She's progressing really nicely. We always put the bridle on first with these young horses that we're saddling out in the arena. It really helps the saddling process a lot. The horse is less fixated on the saddle, and just the process works better. So that's generally how we do it. As you see, Zara is saddled pretty nice now. We probably could saddle her in the wash rack. We haven't yet, but it probably could be done. Zara's also spent a good bit of time standing on a tie line, so she actually, at this point, she ties really good. She cross ties good. She rinses good. A lot of really good things have happened with her. She's progressed really nice and has a really good trainable mind. So here Raven is getting her saddled up. Raven has done almost all of the groundwork getting Zara up to this point. And even since then, Raven has put some of the rides on her. This little bit of moving that Zara is doing here, that's going to just kind of just go away as Zara gets a little bit more comfortable with what's going on. These are the kind of the little things that we wanted to give Zara a little bit more time to take in before we did the first ride. Those little things like that, we can see how much the horse is ready to keep progressing, and we could see that she needed just a little bit more time before her first ride. Just like the couple of steps that she took when Raven went to bridle her, the couple of steps that she took when Raven went to put the saddle on. Just those little things like that tells you how accepting Zara is. Now right there, she's going to tighten the saddle up, and Zara's taking a couple steps again. We don't like to, a lot of trainers at this point would lunge the horse. We really don't like to do that. We could lunge her, and we could lunge her down, and then Zara would accept it at that point. But we really want to just get Zara used to what's happening and accept it without lunging her. We'll do a little bit of lunging just to kind of get her attention on us, but not like lunging down like you see a lot of people do when they're in this process and training. We'll work on a little bit of lunging to get some steering started, get her giving her face, and then go into ground driving. You saw there Zara moved her feet a few steps when Raven went to start tightening the saddle, but then she was like, "Oh, okay, I understand," and just stood there for the rest of it. That's the kind of things that I was talking about, that Zara just needed a little bit more time. She's not really trying to do anything bad. It's just that when those things first start coming to her, she just worries a little bit, and we just gave her a little bit of time, a few extra days to get her kind of relaxed to it. Now you see moving out with the saddle. She's moving out a little quick, and we're just giving her a chance to take it in, a chance to understand. That's really what it comes down to. Her Raven's just trying to get her to move around a little bit with the saddle. She bucked a little bit with the saddle when we first put it on her, but she really hasn't been a horse to buck. That's more what she does right there, just kind of pull away. And that's something that has gotten a lot better, but still needs to get a little bit better. And we've done a lot of ground driving to help this. And here, if I'm not mistaken, I think Zara gives her. There we go. Walk right up and catch her. And Zara has those little panic attack moments like that, and it's not a big deal. And we're working that out. And we didn't want that to happen when we got in the saddle. So that's one of the things that we wanted to spend a little bit more time on. It seems like she just needs just a little bit of time to accept, and to, I guess the better word would be to comprehend what's happening to her at that moment. Now Raven's checking the saddle there, making sure it's tight. Don't want it to fall off. Yeah, Raven's going to go right back to asking her to move again. And then when we lunge, this is more like what we lunge like. It's not out on a big lunge line asking for big movements. Mainly what we're just wanting is move feet and get their attention. There's Zara's going to pull again. And you'll see Zara start to kind of work through this stuff as the work that Raven's doing kind of progresses. That was a lot better there. Raven kind of went to meet her at the wall, and you saw the big reaction changing and going the other direction. That's kind of the part that we're looking to get a little bit better. We want Zara to use her body correctly and use it with effort, but a little bit more of a controlled reaction. Not so much a panicky type reaction. There. And you notice Raven stops pretty often here, and as she's checking her phone there, but she stops pretty often just to give Zara a chance to stop, bring her adrenaline back down, refocus, and basically de-escalate the situation. I actually think Raven, well, I'm standing over at the gate talking to Raven. I know what she did. She was changing the song on the speaker. She has music playing during all this. I had to silence it so I don't get a copyright strike. When we're working in the arena, you don't hear it because I have to silence it for the videos. We normally have music playing, sometimes pretty loud, TV going, lots of those kind of distractions. Now she's swapping out from the lead line to a lunge line. I'm going to ask her to move her feet a little bit more. And we don't, like I said earlier, we don't really lunge to wear the horse down, but we do need to teach a go cue. So this is a big part of that, teaching that go cue. There you see Zara turn and run into the pressure of the whip. There's another big reaction. This is just kind of the stuff that needs to just kind of chill down. And you see Raven's keeping her energy down, just giving Zara the chance to just bring Zara's energy down to match Raven's energy. This is a big part of why this ride went so good, because of how Raven manages her energy. And there's a lot that goes into being a leader, and I've talked a lot about giving the horse something to do and moving their feet. But this is like the opposite side of that. Raven is being the leader, but she's being the leader, showing Zara that Zara doesn't have to have her energy that high. She can just kind of chill and relax and move her feet a little bit, and doesn't have to be high energy. And Raven is being that leader, showing Zara it can be chill, it can be okay, which is what we're wanting for this first ride that's going to happen in a little bit. So there I cut out about 5 minutes of Raven working on that line, just bringing her energy back down. And now Raven has Zara back in the middle and going to attach another lunge line and work on driving. This is the next step. Now that Raven has her attention a little bit better, has Zara's energy down a little bit better, you're still going to see where that stuff's going to pop back up at different points. And the next step is to work on steering, turn left, turn right, a go cue and a stop cue. All stuff that we'll need when we get up in the saddle. As all this is happening, watch how Raven is just generally handling the lines, handling herself. Everything that she does, she's not she's smooth about how she moves, not jerky and anything like that. But she's also deliberate and not really hiding anything either. This goes to the point of what I've said before, that you have to handle the horse like they're a broke horse for them to become a broke horse, and that's a big part of what Raven is doing here. There she's just standing a little bit, letting Zara bring her energy down a little bit, and just giving her a chance to take some stuff in. And a lot of times, when I'm doing this, riding a horse, wherever I might be, I'll stop for just a minute to let the horse just take things in, and then I'll answer a message or two. And that's how I'm able to answer a lot of my messages during the day. And it works out. I try to not get too just dead focused in making something accomplished with the horse right this second. There you see, that was pretty big right there. That was something. Zara has been driven before, but she made the transition from being lunged to being driven, and there was no panic attack there. There was no running off sideways like you saw a minute ago. That was actually a pretty big deal. And you see she's driving around pretty nice. Raven is work on some steering, turn left, turn right, stop, and just getting those cues that we're going to need when we get up in the saddle. So that was about 5 minutes of ground driving that I cut out. If you want to see more of the specifics of how we lunged her, how we ground drove her, you can watch the previous videos of working with her. And there, Raven just unclipped the lines, and she's walking out of the arena, going to give Zara a little bit of a break. And you see Zara, that connection that Raven didn't have in the beginning. Now she has that connection now because she followed Raven to the gate. So Raven clipped those boat bumpers on just out of frame, and they're boat bumpers that you use like to hang from a boat when you're docked at a pier. They're rubber, they're soft, they give, and they work great to hang from the saddle like that to add a little bit of something that bounces, and it hangs about where your legs would be, something for the horse to see. So we always put these on and to have the horse get used to them before we get in the saddle. This is again not the first time that she's had them on. Everything that we're doing today, except for the getting on part, she has had before. So there's another one of her little panic moments, but then she comes right back to Raven. That's what we're looking for. The little panic moments don't have to go completely away, but we need them to come back. Need her to come back pretty quick. That was a nice change of direction, no panic. That's the thing that we're looking for there. Not pulling hard on Raven. Those situations, those things are gradually getting better. Nice work right here. Now Raven's just giving her a chance to stand again. Another one of these de-escalation moments. And how often and how long those are depend. They're very different for each horse. Some horses we need to do them more often to kind of bring their energy down. Some horses we need to do it less so that we can keep the horse's energy up, so that we have something to work with. Now Raven went and took those off. What she's doing here, she's tying the other end of her lead line to the other side of the halter. And now this part is totally new. This part has never been done with Zara before, and we'll see how she reacts. Again, Raven is working off of the halter, and everything is off the halter. She's carrying the bit, but nothing that we've done today is actually pulling on her mouth. This will be the first time Zara has ever had anybody put any weight in the stirrup or step up. This is totally new. We always do this from the ground. We never do these first couple times from the mounting block, because the horse is just learning how to balance with weight. Their feet are going to move, and if you start trying to make them stand at a mounting block for this stage, you're just going to create different issues. So there, Raven's just bouncing up and down, making sure Zara's okay with it. Step down and go for a walk. Add pressure, release pressure. Just basic add pressure, release. As you see what here, Raven just add pressure, release pressure, just like I talked about. And Raven's just going to keep building. As I said, Zara has never had this done before. This is totally new. And we want to make sure that Zara doesn't panic like the little panic attacks that she had earlier when we start doing this process. She needs to let us step up in the saddle, sit down with no big reactions. And right there when Zara's moving her feet, Raven's just kind of hopping to stay with her. Zara started to leave. Raven stepped down and brought her head back around. We like to try to do that and stay in the stirrup, but by stepping down and then bringing Zara in the circle, got her attention back on Raven. It works just as good. And you see, we're going to be working circles right there. She's asking her to move in a circle. This is the same thing that we do. You see at the beginning of every ride, get on and walk a circle. Exact same thing for the exact same reason. And for a long time, we're going to get on Zara and we're going to start off with walking circles. And that is being established right here to get your mind on the rider. It's all really good work Raven's doing right here. There we go. See, when she went to walk off, and Raven could have Zara's head around a little bit more so that she'd more walk off in a circle. It'd be a little bit easier for Raven to stay standing in the stirrup. But it's all going to get better. It all just keeps progressing. By stepping down and bringing Zara in the circle is going to teach Zara to stand still. And a lot of this movement that Zara's doing is just getting used to the weight. There we go. See, those steps right there weren't trying to leave. That was no panic. That was just getting used to holding the weight. So Raven applied the pressure by standing up, released the pressure by going for a walk. De-escalating right here. Really, really good work. See Zara starting to drag just a little bit. There's a little bit of resistance going on there, but before Zara was kind of overreacting in almost a panic, and now she's dragging a little bit. This is bringing Zara a little bit more centered to where she needs to be. I bet this stepping up is going to go really good. There we go. I knew this one was going to go good just by looking at Zara. There are a few more steps. Raven's going to bring her around in that circle. Perfect. Good job. I could tell that one was going to go good just by seeing the difference in Zara's demeanor. And then apply pressure, release pressure. Go for a walk again. Really, really good work. Now Raven's just going to go sit a minute. And this kind of stuff, so many trainers just don't do this. They want to work the horse, make the horse move their feet, and bring the horse's energy up constantly. And it doing this kind of stuff can be so productive if you just take the time to do it. Not enough people do. You do have to make the horse move its feet, but you do have to do this kind of stuff too. It's all a balance. All just sitting and letting the horse chill is not good, and all just moving the horse's feet is not good. You have to have a balance. You have to have both sides of it to produce a really nice horse like Zara is turning out to be. So there I cut out probably 10 minutes of Raven sitting there with Zara, and now I am in the arena on Zyla. I'll be doing a separate video talking just about this ride with Zyla. She actually does buck with me later in this ride, I think after we quit filming this video. And that'll be part of a separate video talking specifically about Zyla. So I wasn't really trying to accomplish anything in particular being on Zyla out here. I knew Zyla wasn't really going to bother what was being done with Zara. And if anything, I thought maybe it might help bring down Zara's worry. So here Robert is getting ready to get on Zara. This will be the first time anybody has ever swung their leg over Zara. And Robert's doing this first ride, and you'll see how it goes. Robert normally does these first rides with some split reins. That's just what he's used to working with, what we're used to working with. There, this is the first time anybody has ever swung a leg over Zara and sat down. And I think Zyla jumped at something. She worried more than Zara did. So now at this point, Robert's just kind of sitting down, has her head pointed to the side a little bit, and seeing if we can get her feet moving. We really try to get feet moving pretty quick. We don't do a lot of sitting and standing still at this point. We have learned over many years of starting these horses, we want to sit down and get their feet moving pretty quick. It eliminates a bunch of different problems. It eliminates the sticky feet and not wanting to move later. And a lot of times it eliminates bucking a lot of bad things. You would think it would work the other way around. There you see Robert's connecting his legs with the go. He'll bump when she walks. He relaxes his legs. And basically he's just kind of pointing her nose a little bit, not asking for a whole bunch of steering, just kind of generally go one direction and generally go the other direction. And a lot of this with Zara being still, standing still, is just not being sure about carrying weight. This is the first time that she has ever had a person on her back. And there's Raven come and sit back down on the step just to watch how it goes. This is the results of all Raven's work, and she's done a really good job. And you see with Zara, didn't buck, didn't panic, and she doesn't this whole ride. And she hasn't yet, honestly. We've been on her quite a few times since then, and she hasn't yet. And she's a really good-minded horse, really, really nice. Now in this ride, we don't ask her to do anything other than walk and steer. I know there are a lot of people out there that start horses that want to trot and lope in that first ride. We don't. The first couple of rides, the ride or two, is only walk. We want to establish that the horse is comfortable carrying the rider. Now we do pay attention to how comfortable the horse is, because there's a line there where if you let the horse get too comfortable, then they're going to start giving you trouble. Just like a child that's not being challenged in school, if you're not challenging them, they're going to create some problems. So there's a line there that we're going to follow with every horse. We want them to be comfortable carrying the weight and steering and doing what we ask, but not so comfortable that they start challenging us back. As you watch Robert ride Zara around, you can see the light bulb kind of come on in Zara's head, that she learns how to steer, she learns how to stop, she's learning how to go, she's walking off really relaxed. This is a really nice walk for the first time a horse has ever been ridden. I'm really happy to see how this has gone. I'm really proud of the work that Raven has put into her, because this is all Raven's work here. I worked with Zara a couple of times with helping Raven get over some of the little panic attacks, but this is mostly Raven's work, and she's done an excellent job. As you see, Robert doesn't have his feet in the stirrups. Robert rides a lot of these rides without feet in the stirrups, and that saddle that's on Zara there, I'm not sure whose saddle that is. I think that's Patty's saddle. So I'm sure those stirrups are not adjusted for Robert, but for him it really doesn't matter. He usually takes his feet out anyways. He has been starting horses since he was a young kid, just like his girls have been starting horses. They're really good. Natural Seat does a really good job with these horses. So this is how the rest of Zara's ride went for her first ride. Really nice. If you want to see how we got here on YouTube, there's a playlist of all of her videos on YouTube, and there will be more videos coming out of her training progressing. It won't be long. I'll have videos of her riding out back and pushing cows around. She's progressing really nicely. So this is Zara. Until next time, thank you for watching.